I'm just having a little look first. All That Jazz, which is one of my all-time favourite films. It's wonderful in every way. I mean, it's got an incredible sense of rhythm in the way that it's edited, but it's also the musical numbers. It's the fact that it's autobiographical. It's sort of very prescient in the way for Bob Fosse. I'm completely. I'm going to have to take that. It's just I love it, and I don't own the DVD. And one of the things that I adore about Criterion DVDs, I don't know if it's the case with all of them. Is it the case with All That Jazz? Is I love the notebooks that come with the DVDs. I almost enjoy reading about the films as much as watching them. It's my favourite thing. So I mean, when I'm making a film and I'm in pre-production for a film at the moment, I'm very careful about what I watch. But I feel I can quite freely read as much about films as possible, and it may seem kind of an academic approach, a thing to do for inspiration, but I just find, I'll read a sentence about something, like I've been reading about Fellini's 8½, and I don't even know if there's a connection between what I'm doing and 8½, but I find there's something about, and I did see 8½. There. Wow, that's an amazing edition of it. That just reading about the making of it and the design of it, and that sometimes gives me a lot more ideas than actually watching the film itself. And even the film itself can be disappointing when you've read so much about it. So I mean, certainly not the case of 8½. I really love that, and I think that's going to have to be another one I take. La Strada, I haven't seen for a long time. I'd love to have another look at that. I think I'm going through a bit of a Fellini phase. Bad Timing, I had a look at maybe about a year ago. It's an incredible film, talking about editing and rhythm. I think it's for me maybe his best film, if there's such a thing as a best film. I think it's one of his strongest films. More so for me than even Don't Look Now. The Age of Innocence. That's another one I'm going to take. The Age of Innocence is the most beautiful of Scorsese's films. I mean, I love all of Scorsese's films, but I particularly like the two films that are not typical of his body of works. The Age of Innocence and also New York, New York. Is one of my favourite musicals. Made the same year as All That Jazz and One from the Heart, which seems all in 1979, or they came out in 79. It seems interesting that these three musicals, all riffing in their own way off Hollywood musicals of the golden period, and just so different, sort of, each in different ways, but I love all three of them. I mean, also faced with all these films, it makes me feel a little bit like, will I have time in my life to watch all these films? Not only ones that I love again, but new ones. It's rather like the same with novels. I just think there aren't enough years in a life, and certainly in terms of the rest of mine, I'm trying to get The Red Shoes out. The Red Shoes is. I don't know, maybe if I had to pick one film above all films, it would be The Red Shoes. This is reassuringly heavy, so I think there must be a really good notebook in this one.